Welcome to the Chat with Chou podcast, hosted by Chou Allegra, well-being and belonging consultant, best-selling author, and sought-after speaker. Join Chou as she connects with both new and familiar faces, showcasing their inspiring work and businesses. Together, we will explore insightful conversations, practical tips, and valuable resources aimed at fostering individual and collective growth, both personally and professionally. Let's embark on this journey towards greater well-being and belonging together. Hello, friends. Thanks for joining us again for another episode of Chat with Chou. I have a friend here with me that I would love to introduce the world to, and for you to get to know her and getting to know the lovely work that she does. So, welcome, Virginie. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me, Chou.
Yeah, so I know you a little bit, but the world does not know you yet.
Mm-hmm.
At least the people maybe who are listening here. So would you mind just sharing a little bit about yourself, like who you are, what you do?
Mm, I'm Virginie. I reside in Pennsylvania. I am a certified medical revenue manager. So what I do is I help small to medium-sized practices and um, home health agencies streamline their processes and increase their revenue. And the
Mhm.
way I do that is by there are many ways. It depends on what their needs are. I can do medical billing, follow up on denied or rejected claims. I can provide new EMR if needed. I can help with reputation management online,
Mhm.
new website needed, or anything they may need. So that's what I
Wow,
do.
you're the woman of many talents, right?
Yes,
And
everything related
and
to
I love
practice management. I do.
Yes. And I love that um you use your talents to serve others and help others get more revenue. Like no, that's for businesses, that's important, right? So
Yes,
it's good that people can focus on what they do, like their craft, right? And then you can help the business grow and take care of all the things in the background. I know,
right.
those of us who are, practices per se, yeah, it's not always easy to deal with all the paperwork in the background and chasing after claims and things like that. So
Right.
thank you for what you do.
No, I really
So
enjoy it.
yeah. And so how did you get started? How did you get into this?
Well, I've been in the medical field for over 18 years. So when I
Wow.
started, I was in New Jersey, and most
Mhm.
doctors had their small practices. Maybe their wife was helping with the management, and the relationship with the patients was a little different. It was a more personal relationship, and I really
Mhm.
enjoyed that. So fast forward to maybe 2009, I moved to Pennsylvania. What I realized is a lot of the doctors, a lot of the private offices were being sold to big networks.
Mhm.
And a lot of
Mhm.
the doctors I met were really disgruntled. Even though they sold their practices, they were not really happy that they did
Yeah.
that. They felt like the way they practice medicine, they cannot do it the same way because
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
regulations. Maybe they saw 10 patients privately, now they have to see 24 in a day.
Ooh.
And when I talked to them, the main thing that really drove them out of business was dealing with insurances, getting
Mm.
reimbursement. That was hard. So they left a lot of money on the table. And also, when
Yeah.
the new EMR, having the EMR became like a requirement, a lot of them were struggling with technology. So those are the
Yeah.
things that really made them sell their practices. So fast forward to the pandemic, I was thinking I need to start a business. I want to be more independent. What can I do? And I was looking online. And then I came across my mentor, and he introduced me to this field, and he really
Mhm.
taught me a lot. He guided me through the training and how to run a business, and so that's how I got started with this.
Wow, that's amazing. You saw a need, right? And
Hmm.
then you want to learn more skills so you can meet that need. And that shows just how much you care. Like you said, being in the healthcare industry for a long time, you love that connection with patients. You love being there and caring and supporting others. And then realizing providers were they're going out of business because they're burnt out and have to deal with insurance. Like, I say
Right,
hello somebody, right? People know
right,
that
right,
there's some of us who chose not to deal with insurance for reasons, right? For the
right.
same reason. So
it's really, it's good to hear and see that someone who, saw a need and, went out of your way literally to learn new skills. And yes, like you said, you wanted to start a business, you wanted to know to have to be more independent as well. So there, it works for you as well. But I can hear your heart for it, and that's huge. That's
Thank you.
huge. So
Thank you.
what are some challenges? I'm sure this was has not been all roses, right? So what
Yes.
are some challenges you faced, and how you're getting through them, and what keeps you going?
So, well, I've been a employee all my life. So the first challenge was my mindset. Like, do you really want to do this? And I had to really learn to think differently. I'm still in that process.
Mm,
Think like a business owner. What is your goal? And deciding who do you really want to serve, like defining what type of client I want for my business, and how do I want my service to be perceived. So that has been one of the challenges. So another challenge is for any business, you need capital to get started. So this is the first
mhm,
time I started a business, so I had to figure out how much can I invest into this venture, and is it safe
mhm.
to invest this
Yes,
much or that
yes.
much. So that has been a challenge as well. So
Wow.
it's been a
Yes,
learning curve,
yes.
but it's been fun. It's been fun learning how to do this and growing into
Mhm.
this business. Hmm.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I definitely, agree with you. It's a different mindset when you're an employee, and compared to being a business owner, entrepreneur, right? They're just, you have to think differently, and then you start operating, even just your mind start functioning differently, right?
Right,
You see things differently, you do things differently. And it's a shift. It's a shift that often people struggle with. You can't just I'm not saying that things we learn as an employees that we cannot apply it in our businesses. We can. And many of us is because we learned what did not work, right? As
right,
employees, that we want to do things differently in our businesses. So there are things we can carry through with us, but there's also a big shift in realizing like you are it.
right,
You can, yes, there's support, there are mentors, like you mentioned, there's resources, people to support us, coaches for business and all of that. But I think the mindset, mindset is the biggest hurdle for many of us. And people don't always see that. I think, well, I need capital, right? Well, I need capital. Maybe I need a building. Maybe I need a website, right? I need all these other things that are very visible,
mhm,
right? But the work that you have to do internally to
right.
become a business owner, it's huge. And that
It is
actually, that's some of the things that I get to do with people, with some of my clients. It's even working on that mindset. Right? How do I even start believing in myself before I ask other people to believe in me? Right?
right,
How that's to
right.
invest in myself, ask people to invest in me. And then,
Mhm,
and then for many of us women that we have seen too, it's like brilliant woman with great skills, and then there's imposter syndrome that just lurk his head there. And it's like, we have to work through all of that. And when you get that denial, you get, that quote unquote rejection from a client that you expected, how do you pick yourself up again and say, what I'm doing is still valuable? When
right,
family and friends don't believe in what you're doing, like, how
right,
do you convince yourself? I know what I'm doing. I love this, and this is something I'm going to pursue. How do you stick the course, right? People don't talk about those things. We talk about finding clients. No, the
right,
internal work you have to do to start
right.
and maintain a business is huge. So get yourself a coach. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you have a mentor. I'm saying that people listening, yeah,
Right.
don't minimize the work that you have to do, the internal transformation that you have to go through in order to become the successful business owner. It's a lot, and it's work that's worth it. Like you said, it's fun to
It is.
grow with your business, and learn so much along the way.
Mhm.
So how do you balance it all? It's not easy, right? I know you have a
Mm,
family, your mom, and so all of that, now you have this business that takes a lot of time and energy.
right.
How are you balancing it?
So I don't know if I really believe in the word balance. I feel like
Love it.
everybody
Love
has
it.
their priorities, and
Yes.
whether they set it or not, their actions and where they put their resources are going to show what their priorities are. So
Mm-hmm.
what hurts me is I try not to have more than three priorities a day. So if I have
Love it.
three more than three priorities, that means I don't have a priority. So
Mm-hmm.
I focus on, of course, I love family. Family is very important to me. So my family time and my business, and I've learned to say no to a lot of things, and and I've learned to accept judgment. So I say, okay,
Mm-hmm.
they don't understand my choices. Maybe they will at some point, and you only have one life to live. So I try
Yes.
to be
Yes.
authentic and set to my priorities. So
Yeah.
that's what I
No,
do.
well said. Well said. Well said. And
Thanks.
I love how you put it, Virginie, because often, and sometimes I ask this question because I know it's a buzzword and that's how people, refer to it. But I totally agree with you that, sometimes the word itself can be triggering for many, right? Like balance, what's that? And it looks different for all of us, and
Yeah.
like you setting your priorities is huge. And sometimes we have too many things on our plate. Them all might be good things. The
Right.
challenge is not always decide between a good thing and a bad thing, or to do. Often it's deciding between many good things and figure out, okay, which one is best, right?
Right.
With many good things and which one is greater. So it's yeah, that's why I appreciate your
Mm-hmm.
input on that, like your response, because that's what it comes down to. And life will
Mm-hmm.
look different. Sometimes you have to prioritize. If there's a crisis in your family, yes, that time maybe business takes a back seat for a day or two, sometimes a week or two, sometimes a month or two, whatever needed, and vice versa, right? Because that's for that season in your life, for that moment in time, something else is more important. They're all great things, but something takes priority based on what your needs are for that season. So I love your response and totally agree with that. To agree with that. Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
so you're
Mm-hmm.
doing all these things. You're welcome. You're doing all these things. And I'm just kind of curious. You mentioned earlier about growing with your business. So I wanted to know what keeps you growing. Like what are maybe your own favorite strategies for personal and professional development? The way you're really prioritizing your task is awesome. I love that. But maybe you have a few more, tips there that you want to throw there and share with others so that we can benefit as well in our own personal and professional journey.
For me, I would say I'm a curious person, so I would say my curiosity is part of the reason I like to grow. So I'm always open to learning new things, new
Mhm.
experiences, and I try to evolve with the world around me, see what is new, and I'm open to new things. So that keeps me growing, and I love a good challenge. If something is not challenging, I lose interest. So I embrace
Yeah.
challenges in life, and I would say that has kept me growing and moving in different
Mhm.
directions that I never really even anticipated. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think also for what has helped my growth is to know when I'm most productive and use that time the best I can. And for me, it's mostly 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning. I feel like if I'm up between 4 and 6, I can do 8 days worth of work in just those 2 hours. I can get so much accomplished. So you have to know yourself and know what works for you and what will really promote your growth. And of course, you have to be true to yourself. Follow your passions. Follow what your heart desires, as opposed to following the public trends or this is what is going on and things like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Hmm.
Oh, I feel like you've been listening to all my my sessions with my clients lately,
Oh.
because those are the things, same things I often talk about. Like you need to know yourself, because if we don't know
Yeah.
ourselves, then we start saying yes to the things that we need to say no to, and sometimes we start
Right.
saying no to the things we need to say yes to. Right?
Right.
Self-discovery is so important. I actually just finished a
Mm.
whole program, a month-long coaching program on the group coaching program on just that self-discovery, how people can start, finding who they are, right, and increasing their self-awareness and learning about their passions, what they're passionate about, and then discover the potential, like their strengths, their skills, so that they can position themselves to live a life
Mhm.
of purpose. So that's exactly what you're talking about here, right? and
Oh.
and knowing yourself
Okay.
is just that. It's like, knowing even when I'm most productive. I have to tell clients, like, you can look at everybody's schedule. Like most people will say, well, no, the typical work is what, 9 to 5, right? And the shift work, like if you work in healthcare, is like 7 to 3, 3 to 11, what, 11 to 7. And
Right.
because they're set by society, we think that's how we need to operate. Many of
Mhm.
us don't function that way. There are times,
Right.
even when yes, you might adapt to a work schedule, but if you're honest with yourself, just like you mentioned, you're going to find times where you have peak performance, like where your brain is at its best, and you
Mhm.
want to maximize that. Just like you said, Virginie, that's when you need to maximize, like, your most important and high impact task. That's when you want
Right.
to do, when all those brilliant juices are flowing from your brain, so that
Mhm.
you're really having the most benefit from that. So I love that. I really, really love that. Thank you
Mhm.
for sharing all that good stuff and being open. I love that you're open-minded, and that keeps you going. And I was thinking too, back to what you said earlier about mindset, what we both said about
Mhm.
mindset. And I think having that mindset of continual learning, right?
Right.
It's long life learning is what helps all of us grow. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not because if we get stuck in what I already know and we say, this is what I know, this is how it needs to be, nobody grows in those spaces, right?
Right.
You need to be
Right.
open-minded, always keep staying curious and looking for those new opportunities to learn more, because if you learn more, then you can do more, with the
Mm-hmm.
new information or new resources that you just acquired. So thank you for bringing that up, bringing mentioning those points. I'm so grateful for that.
Right.
And so how can we support you? You're here supporting businesses and people in the healthcare industry, and physicians and healthcare agencies, and counselors, therapists, and so forth. But how can we
Mm-hmm.
support you?
Well, if you know someone looking to start a practice or looking for a biller or looking to improve their revenue in any way, please reach out and yeah, I may be able to assist them. And
Awesome.
yeah, I have a website. It's called optimalmenu.com. So you can always find me there. And my business line is 610-784-0488.
Okay. And now say tell everyone we're gonna put that in the I'm gonna put that in the description for this episode. So you can just click on the website and have the phone number there. But please, if you or someone needs
Mm-hmm.
needs the biller, for the practice, please reach out to Virginie. And I
Mm-hmm.
know her as a woman of integrity and someone who's very caring and very intentional in what she does. So I definitely support what she's doing and
Thank you.
recommend her services. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. To everyone out there, go there and live a life of purpose.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for tuning in to the Chat with Chou podcast. We hope today's episode inspired and informed you on your journey towards growth. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Follow Chou Allegra on social media to stay updated on upcoming episodes and more resources. Until next time, take care and keep striving for well-being and belonging in all areas of your life.